Okay, good morning everybody, it's Mike. Hey, thanks for joining me this morning. You know, I had this great series for this week. I thought it was great, and 6 ways to give yourself a raise this year. And it's Tuesday, and I'm going to already interrupt myself for this week. I'm going to come back to that tomorrow, the 6 ways to interrupt yourself. But I was doing some reading last night, and I read something, and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to interrupt the series this week because I think this is so important. And that's why I think reading is so important, because sometimes you learn new things and sometimes you get reminded of some things that I really need to get reminded of. The American philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson had a saying. He had a philosophy. And his philosophy was this: do the thing, have the power. Do the thing, have the power. So many of us, I know I find myself doing this, I'll slip back into this, and this is why I wanted to interrupt our series this week, because, well, maybe I'm just entertaining myself, I don't know. I guess that's always possible. But I'm kind of hoping that there's somebody else out there that's listening this morning that this resonates with. Do the thing, have the power. How many of us kind of get that in reverse? I want to have the power, and then I'll do the thing. Right? I'll take the action. I want to feel motivated before I take the action. And it doesn't work like that. You know, those of you that are around me all the time know that I keep telling you that motivation follows the action. We don't get motivated and then take action. We take action and then we feel motivated. And that's why so many of us don't take action. We're waiting to get inspired and motivated. And so sometimes we'll go to like a conference or a thing, right? And then we'll get all fired up and then we'll take action. And we're going, see, that's what I was waiting for, is to get all fired up. But then after like a week or two, you know, we just go back to where we were before. Why? Because we keep waiting to get inspired, and then we're going to take action, like you're going to wake up every day and naturally be motivated and inspired. Haven't we figured it out by now that it doesn't work that way? That we have, in the face of no motivation and no inspiration, sometimes, in the face of that, I'm still going to take action. Do the thing. Have the power. You know, everything's hard. Everything's hard. Having a great marriage is hard. Having a bad marriage is hard. Losing weight, man, that's hard. Being overweight and out of shape, that's hard. Having money is hard. Not having money, oh, that's hard. Being consistent every day, my gosh, that's hard. That's so hard. Not having any business because I'm not consistent, that's hard. Everything's hard, folks. Everything's hard. Choose your hard. Choose your hard. I want to offer you this morning a 5-step formula. I jotted this down last night. I'm stealing some of it from Mr. Emerson for dealing with hard. A 5-step formula for dealing with hard. And I want to start with number 1. And this is, I can't encourage you enough. If you don't hear anything else, hear this. First step in the 5-step formula. Break this year. Break this year. It's not a year. It's not a year for you. Cut out the year stuff. Break this year into 4 90-day sprints. You're in the middle right now of sprint number 1. And it's a 90-day sprint till the end of March. Break it up. And at the end of that sprint, you'll start sprint number 2, but don't worry about sprint number 2 right now. You're just in the middle of sprint number 1. The second part of this formula. Okay, so are you with me so far? You're in the middle of sprint number 1. Second part of the formula. I want you to go back to January 1st in your mind. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to think back to January 1st. all those things that you said you wanted for yourself this year. I want you to get back in touch with that. I want you to take 10 to 15 minutes of quiet time this morning as soon as we're off this call, and I just want you to sit and think for a minute and get back in touch with what you said was important for you this year. And then I want you to get back in touch with what actions you said you were going to do to make that happen. What did you commit to? You said back on January 1st, here's what I want and here's what I'm willing to do to get it. Maybe it was just being consistent every day, showing up to work every day, working this schedule, and then within that schedule there were these activities that you said, look, I know if I did these activities every day, 5.5, 6 days a week, that I would get everything I wanted and more. I know that's true. But I find it really hard after 40, 45 days to stay consistent. I know staying consistent's hard. The result of not staying consistent is hard. So part 1 of the 5-part formula, break this year up into 4 90-day sprints. You're in the middle of sprint number 1 right now. Number 2, go back to January 1 and get clear in your mind what it is that you said was important for you this year. Number 3, I want you to recommit to those. I want you to say, okay, I might not have in the first 45 days stayed right where I wanted to stay, but I'm going to recommit today to doing that. Right now, today, I'm going to recommit with specific and measurable actions. How much and by when? How much are you going to do today, and by when today are you going to do it? Recommit. Number 4, use the next 40 days as a sprint within a sprint, a race within a race. Yes, I got behind, and I got behind right out of the gate, but I'm going to catch the pack. I'm going to catch up with my goals. I'm recommitting today, and the next 40 days, I'm committed and focused to take action. I am. I'm reinvigorated, and not only am I going to finish this first sprint right on track, I'm going to do it in half the time because I let the first half go. I'm going to do that. I'm going to recommit today, and I'm going to use this next 40 days as a race to make the first 90-day sprint successful. You can do that still. You can do that. And then the 5th part of all this will be at March 31st, reset. You got sprint number 2 coming up, but we'll worry about that when we get to March 31st. Do the thing, have the power. I know what you want to feel like. I know you want to feel successful. I know you want to feel confident. I know you want to feel proud of who you are and what you're doing. I know you do. And I know there are things in your life that you want. Do the thing, have the power. Everything's hard. Choose your hard today and go out and make it happen for yourself.